Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing all the things that helped me get through the month of January. So January is notoriously not my favorite month of the year. It's a little too cold, it's a little too dark, but we're into February, which I'm really thankful about. But I wanted to just take a look back and share some of my favorite things that definitely helped me get through that super cold month. The first on my list is something that you guys actually helped me with. I shared on my Instagram story back in December that I was looking for a new dry shampoo because I'd run out of my favorite, which is the Dry Bar, and I didn't have time to run to Sephora. So I was in Target and I did a quick poll on Instagram and you guys shared that the Batiste dry shampoo was your absolute favorite, and honestly, it is so good. I would definitely say that it is up there with the Dry Bar one, even though the Dry Bar one is so much more expensive. And the Batiste seems to be lasting a whole lot longer. It doesn't smell as nice as the Dry Bar one, but it really works and gives me a ton of volume in the top of my hair, which I desperately need all the time. I will say, I typically like my hair the way it looks better on day 2. Just the way the curls fall, I just always think it looks better, but then I get a little greasy, so I like that I can use the dry shampoo, so I have day 2 curls, but looks like I just freshly washed my hair. Okay, I feel like such a grandma for saying this one, but I was dying for a super fluffy, like cozy robe that I could just throw on after taking a shower. It's so cold in my apartment almost all the time because I hate turning on the heat. It gets too stuffy. So I love when I get out of the shower, I can just wrap up in my super cozy robe. It's so big. It's like very long. It really does look like something a grandma would wear, but I am absolutely obsessed with it and put it on every morning while I'm getting ready. And I love like walking around my apartment, like making my coffee, making breakfast, checking an email here or there, and then going on and putting on my makeup. This is number 3 on my list, but I think it should be really number 1. I am obsessed with my Apple AirPods. I was so on the fence about getting them for the longest time because I think they look a little ridiculous in the ear. Actually, the first time I saw them, I thought a guy had a little cigarette hanging out of his ear. I don't know why. But I bit the bullet because they pair really well with the Apple Watch and I wanted to be able to listen to music without having my phone so I could like go for runs. So that's why I originally got them, thinking that I would still use my regular headphones like while I'm at my desk. But the AirPods are so amazing that I actually use them all the time. I recently did a blog post about why the AirPods were my favorite, so that goes into more details and I'll make sure to leave a link to that post in the description box below. I don't really love January, as I've mentioned before, but one of the nice things about the month is that I don't feel guilty staying inside and catching up on some Netflix shows or going to the movies. And one of my friends recommended that I start watching The Crown on Netflix, and I actually tried watching this a few months ago, but like couldn't really get into it. Sometimes I need to just sit down and commit to a show for one episode to get hooked, and I just hadn't been able to do it with The Crown. I'm so glad I decided to give it another shot though. It's amazing and I'm so obsessed with it. I'm not actually like a history buff whatsoever, but I have found myself after every episode like Googling the historic events that were going on like while the episode took place. So highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. So that was a show that I've been watching, and the other thing on my list right now is that I signed up for the Movie Pass. If you haven't heard about it, it's this little debit card that comes in the mail and you sign up for $10 a month. $10 a month. And you can go to an unlimited number of movies throughout the month. Well, one a day really, but I have been going all the time. Like I've seen all the movies that have been on my list, like I, Tonya, Lady Bird, The Post, The Greatest Showman, The Darkest Hour. Oh my God, Molly's Game. That might have been my favorite movie of the month. I have been a fiend going to the movies, getting a little bit of popcorn because I can't go to the movies without getting some. But the Movie Pass is such a cool way to save money, especially if you go to the movies a lot like I do. Even just going to the movies one time a month. Theater tickets now are $12.50 in my city, so even if I go one time, I save money. Bam. how could it get any better than that? I can't wait to see like all the movies this year. I'm gonna go to every single one. Next on my list is one of my friend's companies. I just met her a few months ago here in Connecticut, and she and her sister started a line of really cozy fleece sweaters and sweatshirts and pullovers. I didn't know I could like a piece of clothing this much. It's super simple, and like the concept of just having fleece doesn't seem like revolutionary, but the way their clothing is, I am truly obsessed. The only problem in my book with the fleece sweatshirts is that I never want to take it off, and I have found myself wearing it almost every single day, at least every other day while I wash it, because I wear it that often. The one that I have has great pockets in the front, which I love any piece of clothing that has pockets, so that's a 2 thumbs up for me. And it's long enough to cover my butt, so I can wear it with like leggings and feel like I'm nice and covered still. I think the biggest thing for me is I have a hard time with turtlenecks because sometimes I can feel like a little claustrophobic, but the turtleneck on this one is nice and roomy, so I never feel like I'm suffocating when I'm wearing it. I actually read about this one online. I thought it was on the secret menu, but I guess it has become so popular that Starbucks has actually put it on their menu, and that is the medicine ball. It is a delicious drink from Starbucks that was invented by someone to combine a bunch of different things to make it perfect for someone who's either sick or feels like they're getting sick, and it's supposed to like combat it. I don't know if it actually is going to help you overcome an illness, but let me tell you, it tastes amazing. So the medicine ball consists of half water, half lemonade, a bag of mint tea, a bag of peach tea, a little bit of honey, and then you can add a pump of peppermint as optional. I'd never put the peppermint in, but I'm sure that tastes just as great. So next time you're at Starbucks, if you're not sure that you want to get your usual order, I definitely recommend asking for the medicine ball. I don't think you'll regret it. A couple weeks ago, I did a blog post saying that I was going to start watching TED Talks every morning before I started working. A lot of people shared their favorite TED Talks in the comments section, and I've been slowly working through those. They've been great, so if you are curious about some TED Talks, definitely go check out that post comment section for some recommendations from readers. But one girl actually commented about a podcast from NPR called Up First. It's a really short podcast, just under 15 minutes, and they put it out every morning with the top news stories that you should know for the day. I get really apprehensive about the news. It kind of stresses me out, and sometimes it can turn into this dark hole, and you turn on the TV and everything seems like the world is coming to an end, and I just have this horrible feeling whenever that happens. But the NPR's Up First I've actually found to be super informative. It's not that opinion based, so you don't feel like you're getting swayed one way or the other. It really feels like it's based in facts, which I appreciate, but it also doesn't leave me feeling like the world is coming to an end, but I still feel like I'm getting, you know, a good gist of the news for the day. So if you're like me and you get a little bit of anxiety when you turn on the news or pull up Twitter and everything seems like very alarmist, highly recommend checking out NPR's Up First. Even if you just have a busy schedule and you want to put it in your car on your way to work, it's really great. And I feel like I'm just a more informed citizen from listening to it. Speaking of Twitter, it's actually one of my top favorites for the month of January. I'm sure if you guys follow YouTubers or Instagrammers or bloggers on Instagram, a lot of people have been complaining about how annoying the new algorithm is. And yeah, it is kind of frustrating, but it's not something I can control, so I try not to fixate on it. But one thing that has come out of it is that I've really found myself more engaged on Twitter with my readers, and it's been really fun to stay active on there. It feels like old school social media, which I just really wanted and kind of crave, and I think a lot of people who are frustrated with Instagram might have a better experience with Twitter. So definitely, this is kind of a shameless plug, I guess, but if you aren't following me on Twitter, definitely go and follow me there because I post content there that isn't on any of my other social channels, and it's really fun, and I try to keep it lighthearted, share videos of the dogs, of course, and also just fun stuff that I'm doing throughout the day. And for my last January favorite, Girl Scout cookies. Okay, I am so glad that Girl Scout season only lasts for a few short weeks because I am addicted to the cookies. I don't know why or how they make them taste so good. I have a couple of friends whose daughters are Girl Scouts and I like to support them. And unfortunately that means my freezer is currently stocked with Thin Mints. If you don't put your Thin Mints in your freezer, I don't know if we can even be friends. So Thin Mints are definitely my favorite. And then after that, I really like Samoas. I used to not like them, and then one of my friends like gave me one and I was like, wait, which Girl Scout cookie is this? And she said Samoa. And I, for years, had been saying I didn't like Samoas, and I cannot believe I went that many years without having them. So I stocked up on Thin Mints and Samoas, and thankfully my stash and supply is dwindling, and I basically can't wait for next year already. Okay, so those are all my favorites for the month of January. I've already started my list for February, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Did you know that dry shampoo is a good setting spray before you curl your hair?
Did you know that dry shampoo is a good setting spray before you curl your hair? Did you like how I did that? And for my last January favorite, Carter, you threw it like a football. What about a light toss? Holy crap. You pegged it at me.